So today's look is going to be on this Boujee Bunny look, and I really have to say that this look was very time consuming, and you had to pay so much attention to detail. But let's hop right on in. So I am now taking some glue and I'm placing that on my eyebrows. My other eyebrow is already done, even though it doesn't look like it. But this glue goes on white and dries clear, and I love that so much. You can use Elmer's glue. You can use either white glue or the glue stick. They both work great for this look. Now I am going into my Coastal Scents warm palette, and I'm just taking a few white shades, mixing them together and placing that on top of my eyebrows, just so that when I put the pigmented pinks on, it could show up a lot better on my skin tone, because I am darker toned, and colors like that they don't show up as vibrant as they should. So placing white there definitely helps boost some of the pigmentation that will be lost if I didn't put white. So I'm just doing my other one. Then I'm going to my BH Cosmetics 120 palette, and I am honestly mixing all those pinks and purples together to get the color that you see in the end. And that's only because the lighter baby pinks really didn't do justice for what I needed it to do for the look. So I just ended up mixing a lot of different pinks and a few purples in there. And as you can see, I extended the color up to my hairline and down the sides of my nose bridge. And as I said earlier, I take that plum color that you see. I took about 2 plum colors, and I've also mixed that in with the pinks so that I can get more of a pigmented pink color. So now going into my Hello Kitty Anniversary palette, I'm going to be taking a really pretty pink, and I'm just going to go back over my brows with it, just because it had a light shimmer to it. I thought it added a little bit more definition to my look. It couldn't show up quite on camera, but it definitely did justice in person. Now I'm just going in with a baby wipe, and I'm cleaning up my nose bridge, and I'm also going to clean up on the sides too, just to make the powder that fell out, you know, a little bit more sleeker and make my lines a little bit more straighter. That's one of the keys to this look, is using baby wipes to clean up any mistakes. Now we're moving on to the hairs, and I'm going into my Makeup Forever palette, and I'm going to be taking that white shade, and I'm going to be lining below and above my pink brows. So now I'm going to be wisping out the hairs. Now with this part, you really need to pay so much attention to detail because that is everything. And if you start off with lighter, longer strokes, you can go back in with a second layer and you can go in with darker, shorter strokes. And it just makes it look even better and have more dimension when you layer the white. I'm telling you, it will do you some justice. And again with the lighter strokes at first, and then you'll see me go back in with darker, shorter strokes. And don't be afraid to cross hash. If you don't know what cross hashing is, it's just going the opposite direction of what you had just put down, and that's what's going to make the hairs look even more wild and wispy like, and it's just going to create such a dramatic effect. And I feel like that's why my makeup turned out so good. Then I'm just going in with my black opal foundation stick in shades that's probably too light for me, but that was the purpose of this because I wanted those pinks to show up on my skin tone. Like I said, I had to work around what I've seen other people doing because most of them weren't a woman of color or anyone of color. So basically working around and finding what works and what didn't. Especially with the white, I found that I had to not use foundation first, and I had to go back in with whatever color my skin was afterwards. So I'm just adding the same pink shades. Then I'm going to be going into a palette that I got off of Hush for like $8, and these colors were so damn pigmented that I literally had to place that black where I wanted it and then go back in with a fluffy brush and blend that out because it was just so pigmented. And I didn't want a super sultry dark eye. I just wanted something kind of subtle just to darken the eye up just a little bit. So going into my Naked palette, this is of course the first one, and I'm going to be taking the color, I believe that was Sin, and I'm placing it on my eyelids and my inner corners just to brighten my look up a little bit before I put any glitter on. So now I'm just going in with some Halloween glitter that I got like years ago from like a Rite Aid. And I'm just going to be placing some glitter on my pink eyebrows, and I'm going to be just tapping that onto my eyelids to give the look a little bit more oomph, if you know what I mean. Now I'm going back into the Makeup Forever palette, taking that same white that I used on my eyebrows, and I'm going to be tightening my lower lash line. And guys, please be careful because I actually got this in my eye and I was seeing blurry for like a whole damn day. So be careful, please. So taking this sponge and going back into the Makeup Forever palette, I'm taking out white, and I'm just going to be trying to map out where I want my mouth to be. Honestly, if I could change anything, I would go back in and make the mouth a little bit smaller because it ended up going out way too big, and I low-key kind of feel like I look like a clown. So yeah, I feel like you should map out where you want it before you start putting the white on. So again, back to the technique, you want to apply long, light-handed strokes for the hairs at first, and then you want to go in with shorter, pigmented, whiter hairs. And when I tell you, that will add so much more dimension and make it look way better. And also what helped, I honestly forgot to wipe my foundation off around my, my mouth area and my nose, and it actually started mixing with the first layer that I'm putting on that you see right here. It started mixing with it like towards the end, and honestly I felt like that made it look even more better. Like, it made it fade into my face even more, and it really made the hairs stand out, and I love that. So this is what I meant by going back in with layers and layering up. You see I'm adding way more white pigment, and I will go in with shorter, darker pigmented hair strokes. And overall, you guys, just take your time, find what looks good and whatever you feel satisfied with in the end. I was pretty satisfied with the hairs in the end, so that's why I stopped. But just take your time and do what you feel is right. So I'm going into my Coastal Scents 66 lip palette, tongue twister, and I'm going to be taking a few of those pink shades, and I'm going to be rounding out my top lip, meaning that I'm not going with my Cupid's bow. I'm totally ignoring that, and I'm just connecting the top of my lips together. And that's because bunnies don't have a defined lip. There's a more round at the top, so that's what I decided to do to look a little bit more bunny-like. Going back into the Makeup Forever palette, I'm taking that black, and I'm just going to be drawing a black line extending from the bottom of my nose to the bottom of my top lip. And then I'm going to be making sort of like a rounded triangle shape in the middle of my lip, just to give the mouth opening of a bunny. And so I'm just going to be placing a few dots. I didn't want to put any whiskers because I didn't want to look like a cat at all. And so I'm just going back in with the same lip color, and I'm just going to be carving out a nose. So going into my Becca highlighter, I'm going to be highlighting honestly, above my cheekbones. I want to make them a little higher. I'm going to be highlighting above my cheekbones with the Becca highlighter. And if I were you guys, I would highlight my nose too, but I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, sorry. So again, I'm going to be going into that 120 palette. I'm going to be mixing all those colors together, like, guys, I was not kidding. And I'm going to be carving and bronzing my face with those colors, and I thought that was a great idea. Like, it really added so much dimension to the look, and it just made it even more better. And you really looked bougie with it with your cute pink, bronzer, and it's just so cute. So going in with my lashes, I'm going to be using a pair of lashes from Walmart, and they're the clusters. And I actually put on 2 pairs in this tutorial, and the other pair came from, I believe, Ali Pearl. It was sent with my bundles that I have in this video. So in all, thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope you really liked it. And if you recreate this, please tag me in it, especially on my Instagram. Everything will be linked down below. But please enjoy, and thank you. Don't forget to subscribe.